Gemini, welcome to your February 2024 weekly reading here. It's going to be your reading from February 5th through the 11th. Thank you all for being here. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, be sure to do so. Also, be sure to hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does go a long way. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, that link will be down below in the description. So let's go ahead and jump in here, Gemini. I'm sorry, I'm trying to concentrate at the same time. This wants to come through. All right. Let's see, Gemini. Interesting. There's a lot of changes going on internally with you at this time, this week. Because I feel like almost everything that you're experiencing externally is like a direct result and manifestation of what's going on internally. And I think you're aware of that, and I think you're starting to become aware of that. I think you're starting to become aware that it's time to start to change and bring conscious awareness to like what has been the unconscious issues or what has been the unconscious blockages for you. And I do see that if you decide to actually focus on the positive, even if it's something small, like by nurturing that glimmer of light, it will grow and expand. And I feel like you'll be able to like begin again or be renewed or be reborn here. I don't know if any of y'all seen that show, The Wheel of Time, but I just have this impulsive need to say the Dragon Reborn. So it's almost like the Dragon Reborn here. So let's take a look here. You have the star card here for your overall energy. And this is what I was getting in regards to like being reborn. This is also the card of like any glimmer of light, any glimmer of hope, anything that inspires you here, or you can cling to that does inspire you to keep going. If you nurture that glimmer of light, it will grow and expand. And before you know it, with the Fool card being in the future, you'll be able to find that sense of faith and optimism and be reborn, or feel like there's a sense like there's a huge renewal here. You also pulled the 10 of Cups here in the outcome. So I do feel like there is quite the change here, and it may come very spontaneous, right? Like you may kind of just, the switch in energy could become, like it could happen quickly than you think it would. To where it's like you're more so seeing just the joy and the positive in life and feeling connected to life more than you ever have. Because there is something here with this 2 of Cups in your current energy to where it's like you're having these internal conversations and this dialogue with yourself at this time to understand yourself, understand what it is that you need, understand what it is that you want. So that way you can feel fulfilled and feel like you're actually growing. And the Death card being here in the position of something that you're unaware of, it's like you have been going through a big transformation and change. And I think it's a very inner one. You know, of course it could be manifesting externally, but I think what is a great reminder and something to be aware of is like your inner world, your inner being has to shift and change here. I'm not saying you're not doing that. I'm just saying to keep doing it, right? Because the Queen of Cups being in the challenge, she is the master of the emotional psychic realm, right? She knows that's why she's able to be so nurturing. Why she's able to be so devoted to something, right? Or understand and be empathic. Because she understands the depth of emotion, the depth of her own self, of her own soul. And the 10 of Swords being your advice here is like saying like, there's nothing left. It's time for change, basically. 10 of Swords, like the end of the road. And this is the lowest card in the tarot, but it's also the lowest it can go ever, right? It's only up from here. So it's like you're being sprung up again here by life with the Fool card. So prepare for a new beginning here. And I feel like it's going to be one that feels like a lot freer. Like you just feeling a lot more light than so dense. You have the 10 of Pentacles here. Interesting. I see what's going on here, Gemini. 10 of Pentacles is yes, it's the card of having everything and anything, and your life is just completely fulfilled and abundant. But the Ten of Pentacles as well is like your goals 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. It's something that you're striving for long term and trying to build. Ten of Pentacles is a card of legacy. And with the Nine of Wands, Three of Pentacles here, what you're trying to build and create and put together, it's like you're already making progress. You've already done a lot of things, more than you give yourself credit for. But there's something here to where you're facing adversity. It's almost as if like your belief is wavering here. Like maybe you're not feeling as confident. Like, am I, like in regards to like I'm almost getting you asking the question, like, am I going to be able to accomplish what I want? Is this going to turn? Is this going to happen for me? And it will. The Nine of Wands is just understanding that the phases of life and the phases of things that we go through. It's like whenever we are aiming for, we have new goals and we're aiming for something, reality does hit to where it will show you your limitations and where it is your obstacles lay. And it's through embracing the obstacle, right? Embracing the adversity, the resistance, and understanding like, yes, this is an obstacle, this is a limitation. However, I can learn from this and become more, and this is going to help me bring together more things in my life. This is going to help me accomplish my long-term goals. And it's interesting, there's something about commitment, like you staying committed to the task at hand and doing what it is that you say you're going to do, regardless of whether or not you feel like it. Because it's going to be by you being disciplined and you staying disciplined, it's going to allow for that sense of breakthrough, the Fool card, where you're like, the inspiration and comes back, right? But there's always going to be these phases to where it's like we're going to be tested. You pulled this Uranus card. It says change, and the Fool card is the archetype of Uranus. And I told you there's going to be some type of sudden epiphany or some type of spontaneous urge or liberation that comes to you this week. And the Uranus is also connected to the star card, right? Because the dispositor of the star card, which is Aquarius, is Uranus. So some things are definitely being shook up here, but in a good way. Yeah. You have this inner strength card. It's the solar plexus card. So y'all just think I be saying shit. This is what this is referring to right here. The Nine of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. You can throw the Ten of Swords in there as well, right? It's like the will, right? The will, using your willpower, the will to be successful. Because it's the will that can break through obstacles, and that does break through obstacles. And so the solar plexus, the inner strength here, is like using like your willpower. Like you have the strength to persevere. You have the strength to turn things around or to shift things the way you want to shift it. Pull this heart card. It says connection. And the will lies within the heart as well. Right? It's the life force energy. Using your life force energy and your will to create the future, especially with the star card that you want, that you're looking forward to, that you're dreaming of, that you're inspired by. Clarify this star card. Yeah, the Knight of Swords here. There's going to be a very clear sense of direction this week, right? This is when you're inspired and you have aspirations and it's go time, right? Like Knight of Swords is like, I know what I want, I'm going for it. And this is, I have my reason why, and I'm aiming for this star right here, right? Which is, that star actually represents, it's like guidance, right? It's the navigation, like you know where you're going. Clarify the Two of Cups in your current energy. You have the Seven of Wands, which is my card of conviction, standing up for yourself and your beliefs and going for what it is that you want. This is also a Mars card. It's Mars and Leo. And Mars and Leo, you could definitely say, is the solar plexus. Expressing one's individuality and pursuing one's individual goals and purposes. You have the King of Pentacles here, and you're challenged with the Queen of Cups. I just feel like you're trying to make your inner world more prosperous, right? You're trying to be, you want to feel that feeling of prosperity, the richness, the connectedness to life. Clarify this Ten of Swords for your advice. You have the Hangman. Yep. Sometimes in life, it's like when nothing's working, it's about giving yourself some time for mindfulness. And the Hangman is like when you give yourself time to take a time out and to let things come up from the unconscious. That's the next step, right? Like it's like when you don't know what step to take next and you don't know what to do next, right? Or you're just looking for answers. The Hangman is like, okay, well, take a second to have some mindfulness, and whatever springs up from the unconscious that you intuitively resonate with, like it can be anything. It's like you could just be sitting there having mindfulness and you're like, you think about a book that you once read or something. You're like, all right, I'm gonna go read that book, right? Like my unconscious is talking to me and trying to communicate with me. And so let me figure it out. Let me engage with it to get more answers here and figure out how I can innovate and change. And I do see you doing that here with the Fool card. Like there is some type of innovation and some type of change and new beginning here. Yeah, Page of Wands. I feel like you're gonna be re-inspired here, and then you're gonna take direction. Like you're gonna know your sense of direction and take action. Clarify the Death card. Five of Swords in the position of something that you're unaware of. What's done is done. You can't change the past. That's what the Death card, Five of Swords is. You can't change the past. You can't go back to the past. So there's no point in even clinging to the past, right? Sometimes we can allow the stories of the past to just keep us stuck from ever evolving or moving forward. And so let the past be the past. You can't change it, but you can learn from it. Clarify the Ten of Cups. Yeah, the Moon card. It's interesting. Something is like giving you a vision. Like the Moon card does deal with fantasy and daydreaming and illusion, right? It's one of those tricky, it's one of those slippery slopes. But the Moon card, Ten of Cups, is like you don't know how everything's going to turn out for you in the future, but you have faith. You know what it is that you want, and you know that somehow, some way, the magic of life will bring it to you. The magic of life will manifest. Clarify this Ten of Pentacles. You have the Knight of Wands. This is just about your drive and your ambition to conquer your long-term goals and to build a legacy. Clarify this Nine of Wands. What's the adversity here? King of Cups. King of Cups points to devotion, like purely devoting yourself to something, some cause or something that you believe in truly. And so your devotion could be being tested, but if you can stay devoted and disciplined with this Three of Pentacles, what you're building, the structures that you're building will be built. Will be built. Four of Pentacles clarifying the Three of Pentacles. So will be built, and you will be able to achieve what you set forth in motion or what you're trying to do. You have this 12th house card. It says introspection. I think a lot of you too are, the 12th house does rule the subconscious. And 12th house is also spirituality. And I think a lot of you, like, you're spiritual. There's a spiritual shift that you're going through internally. And then so I feel like you're almost kind of going through this awakening or reawakening. for life in and of itself is starting to provide newer meaning that's meaningful. You have this flexibility card. It's the sacral chakra. And this is just a reminder, like, to allow yourself to be flexible, to bring in creativity and to be creative, and understand that life has changed and you don't have to stay stuck in rigid patterns, and you can change and try things and do things that you're curious about. You pull this tulip card. This is unconditional with the heart. So I feel like there's a reconnection to your heart, like your inner world, your inner being here this week. So I'm gonna leave your reading here, Gemini. I appreciate y'all so much for watching. If you like the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Also, if you want to book a personal reading with me, that link will be down below in the description. If you click that link, it'll take you straight to my website, and then you'll be able to book a reading. Otherwise than that, if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do so, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye, Gemini.